Let's get caught up on injuries and waiver wire ads up next on Fantasy Baseball Today in 5. Welcome into FBT in 5 on Monday, August 19th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Chris Towers, and the biggest news from the weekend came from the Dodgers. Freddie Freeman exited Saturday's game due to a jammed finger. X-rays came back negative, but he was out of the lineup Sunday, slated to undergo a CT scan on Monday, and expected to miss a few days. So I think you will need a replacement for Freddie Freeman, some first basemen on Scott's sleeper hitters list, Michael Busch and Josh Bell, if you want to go with either of those. The other news item, Tyler Glasnow was placed on the IL with right elbow tendonitis, and an MRI revealed no structural damage. But obviously a huge loss for fantasy. We also lost Hunter Green, Jose Soriano, Zach Littell. So we need waiver wire pitchers, Chris, which brings us to this weekend. We got good starts from Jeffrey Springs, JP Sears, Bowden Francis, and David Festa has quietly pitched well for the Twins. How would you rank these pitcher replacements here? Festa, Francis, Sears, and Jeffrey Springs.
I think Springs is at the top of the list. His velocity actually took a step back in his most recent start this weekend, but the changeup has been excellent each of the past 2 starts, and he's got 15 strikeouts in 10 innings. You'd like to see him pitching deeper into games. That's kind of an issue for all of these guys, except for JP Sears, actually, who's gone 7 innings or more in 4 straight starts. The problem is the strikeouts. I'm not sure I buy it. He's got 27 strikeouts in 28 2/3 innings in that span, but he has 2 9-strikeout starts, both against the Giants. He has 9 strikeouts in the other 2 starts combined. Something tells me that's just JP Sears having the Giants number rather than JP Sears being a burgeoning high strikeout pitcher. So I would rank them Springs, Francis, I'm completely blanking on the name.
JP Sears.
JP Sears. Geez, why was I saying Spears and then I got to Sears? All wrong. And then David Festa, who I like, but the Twins have just been really careful about letting their young pitchers face opposing teams the third time through the order. So that has limited the upside for him. He hasn't gone more than 5 innings in a start, I think. So Festa, I think the talent is there, but just not sure there's a ton of upside.
The other big news from the weekend is that Ketel Marte has aggravated his ankle injury, so you could be looking for a second baseman off the waiver wire. And if you're in a shallower league, the very obvious name who we talk about a lot is Brandon Lau, who hit 2 more home runs this weekend. He's 75% rostered on CBS. But if you play in a slightly deeper format, some names that you could look at, Gavin Lux continues to hit well in the second half, batting .367 with 5 home runs and an OPS over 1,000. Jorge Polanco, last 22 games for him, he's batting .272 with 7 home runs and an OPS over 900. Isaiah Kiner-Falefa has hit well since joining the Pirates, and Whit Merrifield has been doing some things, providing some speed here with the Atlanta Braves. How do you rank this group, Chris, of Ketel Marte replacements? Lux, Polanco, IKF, and Merrifield.
I think even if I'm desperate for speed, I'm not really looking at IKF and Whit Merrifield. So it comes down to Lux versus Polanco. I know Scott White said he'd take Lux over Polanco. I might go Polanco over Lux. They've been hot for similar stretches, but Polanco's come with a little more power. It feels a little more sustainable to me. So I would go with him over Gavin Lux.
And our biggest bullpen update from the weekend for the Dodgers, Michael Kopech picked up 2 saves this weekend, both in 1-run games. So being used in big spots, high leverage situations, and he's performing. Since joining the Dodgers, he's made 8 appearances, 8 1/3 shutout innings with 10 strikeouts to just 1 walk, 34% rostered. So Kopech is widely available. Lots of safe sources have emerged recently, Chris. How would you rank these names? Kopech, Ryan Walker of the Giants, Justin Martinez of the D-backs, Sir Anthony Dominguez with the Orioles, and Lucas Erceg with the Royals.
All right, can you repeat the names again?
Yes.
I don't want to get lost again.
Kopech, Walker, Martinez, Dominguez, and Erceg.
I would rank them Walker, Kopech, Martinez, Erceg, Dominguez. Kopech, I've liked the upside since he moved into the bullpen at the beginning of the season for the White Sox, but there were a lot of ups and downs, mostly downs. His ERA got in the 5 range at one point in July, but he started turning things around before the trade. His final 5 appearances were all shutout. I think 8 strikeouts and 5 1/3 innings. So he's been going for about a month at a really high level. It's just the Dodgers are so hit or miss with their bullpen usage that I can't quite buy into Michael Kopech being the closer moving forward. But if he was, I think there's certainly impact upside the rest of the way. So if you want to chase that, I think that makes sense.
All right. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to the Fantasy Baseball Today podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, the Odyssey app, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today in 5, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.